There we go. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go back to the first slide, seeing as I forgot to record. And I won't do a long spiel. Okay, happy fall, everybody. Welcome to October So With Liz. And I'm just talking here about Beyond the Frame Embroidery, the October, oh, actually, I think the September project. It was the, no, it's not, it's the October project. I've been so busy, I haven't taken part, but if you sign up with them, you can go onto the website and you can download the previous designs that they have. They're all free, and they've had some beautiful ones. For example, that sunflower, it looks like crochet, and they call it crochet, but it actually isn't crochet, it's done in the loop. So it's like a 3D crochet flower done in the embroidery loop. And I believe that was September's project, and you can just download it. I know that Karen, who can't be with us today, was really impressed with that one. I didn't watch the webinar, and it's a free webinar. You don't have to pay for that particular, the Beyond the Frame videos. If you go to them, I'm trying to remember now their main website. Anybody remember what it is? I think it's, anyway, I'll remember it. If you go to that one, they will, even if you sign up for this, they will send you emails, and they have a bunch of different videos. I do think 2 or 3 a month, where they teach a particular technique, and you can sign up. And they always have door prizes and all sorts of nice things. But those ones cost $5. This particular one in the Beyond the Frame embroidery is free. Okay, so that was just to do a little, I don't get paid anything by them, it's just in case you're interested. This, I think, is really cutting edge embroidery. Okay, just in case somebody is wanting to do the Ponte pants sew along, there are some spaces left in that class, and it's not too late for me to send the fabric out. The fabric in the middle is the oyster Ponte. And then there is also 2 other Ponte fabrics, which you will see on my website. One is a dark teal blue, and the other one is a sort of magenta color. And I've made pants for all of them. The pants on the 2 ends, the left and the right, that's the one pattern we're doing, which is a little more casual, and it's got pockets on the front. And then the other one with the big red notice in front of it, that one is the green style Chelsea pants, which has got a shaped waistband, and it can look a little more dressy. Okay, so that's, if anyone's still interested, that is still a go. It's $75, including everything, fabric, shipping, pattern, the lot. Okay, then just to mention that Johanna, you may have come across her if you are into cover hemming. I kind of feel in many respects she's my go-to person for cover hemming, and she's written a book called Master the Cover Hem Machine, and I got that as an ebook, and it really is quite good. And that little top in the middle, the black and white striped top that she's wearing, that pattern, I think she calls it the burly top, G-U-R-L-I, top. She also sells that as a pattern. And I've made that, I think I've made it twice, and it's quite a nice top. It's got a little puffed sleeve. So it's a little bit different from your regular t-shirts. But just to mention that she's been working on it for a while, and she has a new book coming out called Fit for Knits, where she talks all about getting really good fit when you are working with knit fabrics. And if you go to her website, I do believe it is thelaststitch.com, thelaststitch.com, and she is in Sweden, Gothenburg in Sweden, and they are taking pre-orders on some of the Amazons at this point. Last I looked at her website, they weren't taking pre-orders on Amazon Canada, but she was hoping that by the end of October they would be taking pre-orders. So if you're interested, go and have a look. I do believe you can order it as an ebook or as a printed book. So go and have a look. I can heartily recommend what she puts out. It's really well researched and well put together. And her English is excellent if you ever want to watch any of her videos. All right, next thing is, now why has it not gone to the next slide there? Let me just see. Okay, so I am starting a series, well, have started a series on my blog. I didn't do anything with my blog for the longest time. I started it when I left Genome 2 years ago, and then just got so busy with other social medias and teaching and all the rest of it that I never did anything with it. And then I had a rethink recently, and I thought, you know, one way of doing things is to make video after video after video and put them on YouTube. Or you can write blogs. And I remember blog posts. I remember really, really loving doing the blog posts for Genome Live. And so I thought, okay, Liz, it's time to go back to blog writing. So I've got quite a lot of posts there. I can also do them on any topic that I feel like, you know. So I've done one on when I made a Blackwood cardi recently, and I just took little shots as I was sewing, showing some of the hints and tips of when you're working with a very soft rayon knit, and you know, how to make sure it doesn't stretch out of shape while you're sewing. That's there on the blog, and it's all completely free. And if you want to go to my blog, you can just go to my website, sewwithliz.com, and right up at the top, it'll show you blog, and you can just click on that, and it takes you straight to the blog. And so in any event, what I decided to do, because I meet people quite often, and they say to me, I have no clue, Liz, what all the various different fabrics are. It's just so confusing. And even I don't know what all the fabrics are. Recently, I actually picked up a piece of fabric at Fab Cycle when I was doing volunteering there, and I felt it, and it was just absolutely to die for gorgeous. And I said, is this a silk? And she shook her head and she said, no, Liz, it's tencel, which is a manufactured fabric. And I was quite shocked because it really felt like silk. So in any event, what I've just started doing, and I'm not going to put out a blog every week, I'm just going to do it as I've got time. But part one is on the blog already, and it is basically an introduction to fabrics. So I talk about wovens and knits and non-wovens. And then the next one, that part two, I'm going to start on specific fabrics, like maybe French terry or polyester or spandex. And I will talk about the various properties of the fabrics. I'm not going to go into too much chemistry because I would be out of my depth there. But talk about, you know, how you identify them and what you would use them for, and maybe care of them for washing and so on, and as well when you would use them and how to sew them. So watch for that on the blog. And then if anybody is interested in an ebook with all this information in it and workbook style, and including free shipping, and I will ship you swatches of the fabric to put into the ebook so that you can keep for further reference. And I would just charge a nominal fee of $10 to cover the fabric and you know, sending that to you, putting it together. So if you're interested in that, just let me know, and if there's enough interest, I will produce an ebook. Okay. And please remember, you can ask questions if you want to. All right, so I was sewing something recently, and I thought I'd give you a sewing tip of the month. I was doing lingerie, and I'm using my granddaughter's very simple entry-level little machine, and it kept biting into the fabric and, like, you know, bunching up at the beginning. And I was getting frustrated because I had to unpick all that knot. So I had a little piece of elastic lying there, and I thought, oh, well, I'll use that as my leader. So I cut a little piece of elastic and then sewed onto my elastic and spread all that onto the lingerie fabric. And it helps a lot with knit fabrics too, you know, soft knit fabrics, because they tend to get chewed up at the beginning when you start too close to the edge of the fabric. So I just wanted to say that I thought was good, and it seems to work really well, almost better than a double layer of fabric. So save those little pieces of your straps from your lingerie sewing or your band elastic, and use it for your slippery fabrics. Okay, so that was the sewing tip. And then I spent 2 weeks on the Sunshine Coast of BC. I always thought it was an island because you have to take a ferry to get there. Until I realized that actually, no, it's northwest of Vancouver, and it's actually on the coast. It's on the mainland. But you have to take a ferry there because there's mountains and no roads will get you to that little part of the coastline. And my Karen, many of you know her, she lives there. And I went there for 2 weeks to look after her house and her 2 doggies and her cat. And I had the most fabulous time. I sewed so much that I've re-injured my elbow from overworking my arms. But it's much better now because I've had heat on it for a couple of days. But one of the things that I was doing while I was there was sewing up scraps of fabric that Karen left for me to use. And you'll see there, my cat Chief is lying on a new cat bed that I made for him. And while I was there, of course, I created a big mound of scrap fabric. So I put all the scrap fabric into his kitty bed. And so there was no scrap fabric to go to the landfill. And then when the bag was full, I just sewed up the fourth side of the little square, and now he has a cat bed. And I was rather hoping that on the way home in the car, he would not cry as much if he had a nice cat bed to lie on. But no, he does not like the car, and he cried the entire way there. The only time he didn't cry was when we were waiting in the ferry lineup and the car was stopped. So I think it's the motion and the noise of the car that he doesn't like. So we just know we can't go on long trips with him because he just literally cries the whole time. Okay, so if you want to make a little stash buster project, just sew scraps together. I did mainly 5-inch squares on that one, but you can sew strips together, anything that you fancy. And then use that as a bag to catch all your fabric scraps. And then when it's full, you can sew it closed and you can use it for your pets, or you can give it away to somebody who's got a pet. I can tell you Chief really loves his cat pillow. All right, some more scrap buster projects. I know that we're barely thinking of Halloween and Christmas is around the corner, but I thought I'd give you that lady's idea. I got it on Pinterest, or was it Pinterest, or it actually might have been Instagram. But if you look up Amy Smart, she calls herself Diary of a Quilter, and she's got some pretty neat little Christmas projects there, and that caught my eye, and I thought, that looks really neat. And that's a good way to use up tiny scraps, because it looks to me as though those are like 1.5-inch squares. So small scraps could make a nice little project like a pot mat, or just a little strip along a kitchen tea towel. So there's that idea. And on the other side, another way to use up your scraps, of course, is to make another cover for your sewing machine, or a first cover for your sewing machine if you don't already have. And I believe that lady, well, actually, if you go to Pinterest and just look for quilted sewing machine cover, there are a gazillion that you will see there. And you can choose that one, or you can choose another one that you prefer. It's probably time for me to make a few more covers for my machines, because the ones I've got either don't fit properly or they're getting a bit tatty. So that's a couple more ideas. If you are needing ideas for sewing, I think most of us have got so many projects on the go, we probably don't need new ideas. Okay, then, by the way, that is not me. It's not somebody I know, and I don't know if I told you this before, but I wanted to kind of make my own pictures using AI. And the photo software that I use, the editing software I use, has an AI component. So I went in there and I put in bras. No, I was breaking some community code, because I was asking for pictures of bras. I asked for pictures of panties, same thing. I asked for pictures of undies, same thing. So now I sat there scratching my head. And eventually I put in the words intimate apparel. So help me. You can't believe how many pictures came up. And you can tell, like I told you, I wanted orange Halloween. So it gives me ladies and bras and panties with orange and Halloween. But if you want pink, you say pink blonde, and you'll get a blonde lady with pink underwear on. And it's been quite fun. So I've been using those for Pinterest because you're not allowed to use other people's photographs. And it's very hard for me to have a gazillion photographs because every day I put 2 to 3 posts on pins, actually, onto Pinterest. So this has been a cool way of getting pictures. And I put it here because I've bought up the last of the orange duo flex, and it's kind of that color. It's a lovely, bright, vibrant tangerine orange that Fab Cycle had. And so I'm prepared to cut it in smaller pieces for people if you just want to make one bra. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think I need 3 orange bras in my drawer. One would be enough. And if anyone's interested, it is on my website. Okay, then I had to throw this in. My granddaughter, Evan, she's just started high school this year, and she wants to dress up for Halloween as a mushroom. And she's really quite talented. She did that all by herself. And I saw it before it had its fabric on. And what she did was she cut a big piece of cardboard with a hole in the middle, a circle in the middle. And then she stuffed it with paper and made this dome, and then used, I don't know, probably a whole roll of packaging tape. But now she had needed to cover that mess up. And she said, Nana, do you have any white and red fabric? And I listened to what she was wanting to do. And I said, you need knit fabric. Because to do that with woven fabric, you're going to be folding it and pleating it from here till Christmas. Well, as you can see, she still pleated the white fabric, and she is so thrilled. And my daughter is so impressed with what her daughter has achieved. And they've apparently bought her a little sort of dungaree dress to wear with her mushroom hat. So I'll post some pictures online on the Facebook group near a Halloween when she's all dressed up. I usually go over there and go trick-or-treating with them, although nobody ever gives me any candy. They only give the kids candy. But I thought you enjoy that. Lots of glue gun went into this. I don't think there was any sewing that went into it. But anyway, there you go. I am super pleased because I've been away. I haven't done very much about contacting and getting little panty kits to people, but I think that's what I'll spend some of my time doing tomorrow and on Friday. Is I'm going to pack the panty kits that I have cut out already into little zipper bags with elastic. I think I now have, apart from you, Anne, I've got about another 4 ladies that are happy to sew. And I've also asked the lady that initially approached me, I've asked her to let me know on a monthly basis how many pairs of panties she thinks they may need. Because the 150 for Christmas, I realized was quite a lofty target. And I definitely can't carry on, asking people to make panties and making them myself. While I was away for the 2 weeks on the Sunshine Coast, I managed to make 25 pairs of panties, but that took a lot of my time. And so what I want to know from her is, does she need 10 pairs of panties a month, or, does she need 50? And then we'll be able to figure out, what we can do for her. So there we go. The panties, and anybody that is wanting to still join that and make panties, I'm thinking of for Christmas, what I might do is put some of the panties in a little zip seal bag with maybe a toothpaste or a soap or something small, so they get, apparently the response from the ladies that come into that washroom, which is like a safe refuge in the really, really awful part of downtown Vancouver. It's notorious. And when I went to deliver the panties, I actually probably saw at least half a dozen drug addicts lying in the street out for the count. They'd obviously taken their drugs and they were sleeping it off. So it's a really sad, pitiful part of town. But the ladies that got the panties on that first batch I delivered, they were just like overwhelmed that somebody would make something for them. So even if I don't know who the ladies are that are wearing the panties, you know what, I feel kind of good. And I think we all should feel kind of good that we're doing something that isn't always just for us. Okay, so let's see what people here at the conference are making. So I'm going to spotlight myself. I think I have to stop screen share and then no, there we go. All right, this is another humbug bag that Vanessa made, and it's got complete with its little tab and fully lined. And there we go. Have we got your little humbug bag? Thank you. This one is quite impressive. It's made by a lady called Debbie, and she's from Australia. And she's been visiting Canada for how long? 4 months. Okay. And am I right? Your hubby was Canadian? He's Canadian. Yes. Her husband is Canadian, but they actually live in Brisbane in Australia. And she's been visiting for 4 months. And she has not sewed for years and years and years, and will consider herself a rank beginner. Well, look what she made today. She made a little humbug bag, and can we have a look at your little thread catcher? Thank you. All right, and she also made, somebody else here in the at the quilting retreat taught her how to make this little thread catcher, and then you put all your little pieces of thread in there. So she's feeling pretty proud of herself. Okay, have you got something you want to show, Anne-Margaret? Yes. Do you want to come and stand here and I'll put the camera on you? Was that a yes or a no? Okay, so I'm going, Anne-Margaret is coming, and I'm going to put the camera on. And there is Anne-Margaret. Don't come too close, and lift it a bit higher. There you go. That is her retreat bag that she made for this particular retreat. Yeah. And then you can see inside, it holds a lot, and it's got loads of pockets around the side of the retreat bag. Do you know what? Yes, and it's got a wire that keeps it open. Do you know the pattern?
Not off the top of my head, but
okay,
I'll do you later.
Okay, perfect. All right, and then where is
Liz? Liz?
Yeah.
Can you repeat what she said where the pattern came from?
She doesn't know off the top of her head, but she will get it and I'll post it in the group.
Okay, it might be Emmeline bags.
It could
they
be,
do
but it looks
bag.
very large. So I'm wondering
They have two,
another pattern.
They have 2 sizes.
They do.
Yeah.
Would it be Emmeline bags? Okay, yes, it is. It's the larger one of the retreat bag. Kay, do you want to bring your quilt over now? Oh, yes. Okay, so let me just put the camera back on. Okay, this is a block that Anne-Margaret's daughter Tabitha made. Isn't it cute? The little bee. Thank you. And Kay was the lady that came to my rescue because my husband did not want me to bring the car here. And she has made this quilt. You can come in a little closer. This is a Creative Kiwi Designs. And they are, sorry? Oh, no, somebody else is speaking. It's for Remembrance Day. So it's all sort of navy and military embroideries. And those little black figures you see, they're not applique. Several of the ladies here thought they were applique, but they're not. Can I bring it up close to the camera? Okay, so if I bring it up close here to the camera, it's actually stitching. Wow. So that's embroidery stitching. And it's really beautiful. So Kay sewed all the blocks together and she put this poppy border on around the edge. So she's been a busy girl. Thank you very much, Kay. All right. And then let's remove the spotlight from me. And let's go back and see what else I have got on my screen to share.
Oh, we've thought about it. Relatively on the same floor.
Okay. So, just a reminder that if you have not been to my website recently, I have an e-booklet on 12 different ways to quilt your quilts. And that's there. There is the what do you call it? The link if you want it. And this is being recorded so you can get it later, or you can write it down now. And also there is a blog post with more detail. Sorry, these are not on my website, these are on my blog. But if you just go to my blog and scroll down, you'll find them. And there's also a blog post with a lot more detail on binding with yarn. So in other words, you couch the yarn up to the edge of your quilt with a zigzag stitch. And so that whole blog post covers that. Obviously, I wouldn't do that if I was making a bed quilt. But for mug rugs and little art quilts and wall hangings, it's quite a nice way to bind your quilt. Okay. And let's just see here. The next, so with Liz Club is the 15th of November at 4 p.m. And I thought, gee, that's quite early in the month, but it's the way it is. It's still third Wednesday. And I will post the Zoom link. So let me stop sharing and find out if we have any questions or comments or suggestions from any of you. Anybody got?
I have a question. I have a question, Liz.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you did it on the humbug bag or a zipper pouch, but you had a way of hiding the zipper tape. Do you remember which class that was in?
Yes. I think this one shows it. No. Okay. I did teach the ladies today. There it is. It's like a little zipper tag. Is that what you're talking about? On the ends of
No, it was one where you kind of folded it down and almost used it. I'm not sure if you used it as a tab.
like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Okay, let me grab, yeah, this one it will show you. Do you see it like that?
Yes.
Let me spotlight. Okay. Over here, if you were to sew that side seam and your zipper is like kind of popped up, in other words, you put it like that and then sewed your side seam. Obviously, you're on the inside, all right? Then it's going to stand up. But if you take your zipper and you tuck it in like that, all right? And you tuck the zipper down when you're sewing your side seam. Obviously,
okay.
This is right sides out, but you'd have right sides in there.
Right.
And then
Okay.
sew right up to the edge at the top. And then it gives you this nice little part here where it tucks down. You actually get that sometimes on some bags. It tucks down at the side. And I did also have a little zipper tab here as well, which I like to put on the ends of my zippers. Then you don't have to be sewing through all the zipper in the side seam if you sew a little tab to the zipper before you even set the zipper in. And then I have that tab here as well.
So you're putting the zipper tabs right sides together?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been thinking about that at 3 o'clock in the morning. So thank you.
Okay. And I only just discovered that recently. I always used to do it and then wondered why the ends of my bag were not as neat as they could be. But if you push it downwards, it's quite hard to sew over that. I broke a needle the other day So,
Mhm.
that's why the tab on the zipper helps a bit because it's not as thick. But
Right.
just go slowly and hand crank if you have to, but it really
Yeah.
does work well.
Yeah.
Right, any more questions? And we can unspotlight me. Did somebody go? Did we only have 3 people here?
We had 4.
Yeah, I thought we had 4.
Thought we had 4.
Okay, never mind. Maybe she had to leave. So, suggestions, ladies, for topics so with Liz Club coming up, is there anything burning that you would like to know about that I could demo at the machine maybe next month? A foot or an accessory or a technique?
I'm into sewing with cork these days.
Ah,
When I was in York in England, I bought 3 meters of printed cork at a great price.
very good.
So, yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
I would
went
like
to
to,
my, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would like to learn that too.
You know what? It's so simple. It's just use a Teflon foot and use a sharp needle and just make your stitch length a bit longer. And have a lot of double-sided tape.
Yes, you can't use pins. Am I right?
No,
Clips-
yeah, can't use
clips
pins.
are okay, but not pins.
Clips are fine. And I had some I had some Scotch double-sided tape, but it was 3/4 of an inch wide.
Oh,
And all the patterns I was using called for 1/4 inch. So I went to Amazon and I got 6 rolls of 25 meters each,
Oh,
double-sided tape.
okay.
gonna be sewing
What
lots
was
of
the
cork.
brand that you ordered? Do you remember?
Yeah. Sorry, Liz?
What brand did you order?
Oh, I don't know if it says.
Yeah, that helps it not to slip.
Nothing's far in this room. Double-sided tape, new. No. I think it was $12.99 for 6. $12.99 for 6 rolls of tape.
Wow.
No, it doesn't say. I've got the barcode, but it doesn't say what it
Okay, well,
says.
you'll have to tell us what it's like. If it works well.
I'm going to try it. I'll probably work on it next week.
Okay. And
Got a busy.
ladies, if you want to see Anne's new bags, go to the Facebook group. She's posted a couple that she's made and they're just gorgeous. With especially the one that I put on, I think on today's, somewhere I put it, I forget now, I used it.
You did.
On the blog
You
post.
posted it
On
on
the
your blog post. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
And you
cork
know,
is one
that
of
was
those things that is a non-woven.
but it's backed with a woven fabric.
Absolutely. It's a completely natural
Yes.
thing, but it's not woven
Yes.
or knitted. So it's kind of like leather
No,
in some respect.
And if anybody wants to sew with cork, go to YouTube and I can't remember her first name. The lady from Sally Tomato has a 7-minute video on all about cork.
Okay.
So she talks about how it's harvested and processed and backed and what kind of needles to use. She doesn't talk about actually sewing with it, but she says this is how you can set yourself up for it.
Okay.
And I think it's 6 minutes and 54 seconds or something.
And the needle, when you said sharp needle, are you talking denim or are you talking microtex?
I did a microtex.
Yeah.
I use microtex, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
And regular polyester thread and lengthened my stitch length to 3.4 or 5
okay.
because I didn't want too many holes in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the patterns suggest using the you can get it through Emmeline bags. It's like a paint that you put on the edges that gives it a rounded edge.
Right. So it doesn't look like it's been cut.
Yes. Now I know Emmeline bags does not ship that in the cold weather. They have I think once November comes, they stop shipping it. It doesn't,
You have
apparently
to go to
doesn't do
their
well in
store
the
to get
cold.
it.
Yeah, but that's a bit far for me.
I know.
Yeah. Or you have it shipped during the warm weather.
Okay.
The other thing they said you could do is use a clear glue
Oh,
and use clear glue on it.
okay. I haven't done that with my cork. I've just used it and not put the on the ends.
No, I didn't either. I mean, the bag I made was all the seams were enclosed. And it was easier to sew through the cork than it is to sew through quilting cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, Maury, actually how easy it is to sew for. I've even embroidered on it.
Wow.
And I made a little bag. Have I got it here? Yes, I do.
I think I've got a little package that I've had for years and haven't used because I don't know what to do with it.
Can't see your screen, Liz.
Okay. So there is a little bag that I made, and I embroidered the sewing machine on the cork, and then
Cool.
I had gone sewing on the cork as well. And the back has also got some more gold metallic embroidery on the cork. And I just
Wow.
love that little bag.
It's beautiful, Liz.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
I've had it for years. Probably made that, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago. But it's a nice little bag. It's amazing when you stand in the line at the bank or something and people sort of look at you like that. Instead of gone fishing, you've gone sewing. And I certainly have gone sewing this week. I'm having a wonderful time here. It's really fun. And then this afternoon, there was another quilting group meeting in another building at this venue. And I don't know if any of you have heard of Maureen Wood. She does a lot of those quilt works, paper foundation piecing projects, like the Mariner's Compass and all those ones, Judy Neumeier and people like that. I've never made one of those, and I don't honestly think I will. But I did buy 2 patterns from her. So I'll show you the patterns I bought.
It's my baby.
That was the first one. Did somebody say something?
Oh.
I just said this is my baby, Gina,
Sorry, what was
who
that?
does not want to be held right now.
No.
Oh, I see. Okay, so there
Okay,
we
you can get
have
down.
the one pattern I bought. It's a Laura Heine, and it's got the pin cushion and the dress form and the sewing machine, and it's like kind of collage. And then this one I couldn't resist either, with elephants.
Oh.
So I bought those 2 patterns. Of course, it's not like I don't have enough already to sew, but I think all you ladies know what it's like. We see things we like and we think, oh, I gotta have that. And so of course I bought more today, but I didn't buy any fabric. I was a good girl today and didn't buy any fabric. Okay, ladies.
I went looking through my cabinet for my ultra suede because I know I have 5 by 7 or 6 by 8 pieces of ultra suede in a plastic bag. Could not find them. I pulled everything, couldn't find them. So I'm
Still haven't found them.
thinking I've got way too much. Sorry?
I do too. I do too.
I couldn't find them, but I found fabric I bought in Provence. I found fabric that my mother gave me. I found all kinds of stuff I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
Couldn't find my ultra suede.
Yeah, I'm actually really thinking it's about time. And I think we do this at the change of seasons, that I need to tidy up my spare room, because I think there's a lot of stuff in my spare room that I have also forgotten where I got it from and how long I've had it. And I haven't talked my husband into it yet, but it really is a bit of a nightmare when you go away and you've got to find somebody to look after your pets. And so I'm trying to talk him into letting me sign up for this trusted pet sitters thing. And the last I looked, it's $169 for a year. And then they vet people, and somebody would come in and stay in my home and look after my cat. And then if I go to the UK and visit my grandkids there, then I can do a pet sitting in London. It's certainly cheaper than a hotel. So, as I say, I haven't talked him into it yet. And then you've got to have your house really, really tidy. And
You do.
the spare room would have to be another bedroom. And I would have to
Yeah.
find some place where I can lock up stuff that you don't want your guests to have access to. So I've got to sort of think through
Yeah.
if I really want to go to all that rigmarole, because my house is a little bit untidy. That's what comes with wanting to sew and not tidy up.
Yes. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Anything else anybody wants to ask?
Nope. I'm gonna send you an email, Liz, about you said you're doing the Baronia bowler bag as one part of your, yeah, I've got a lot of tips for you on that that'll make life a whole lot easier.
Lovely, thank
So
you.
I'll-
Actually, the guild meeting last night and I wasn't there, but I will find out how many people signed up. But there's certainly a lot of interest in it.
Yeah, because there's real tricks if you're going to use it on a domestic machine
Okay, thank you.
to
That
make
was-
life a whole lot easier.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll send you all that.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you again next month if you're available. Thank you.
Yes, I'll
Thanks,
see
Liz.
you on
Thank you.
see you on the 26th.
Yes, 26th of the month.
Yeah.
I think it's Thursday next week. That is
It is.
Lingerie Sewing Support Group. All right.
Yep.
Bye, ladies.
Okay.
Bye. Happy
Bye,
Halloween.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everyone.
Bye.